Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to our explainer on the absolutely massive announcements that just came out of Google I/O 2026. Look, if you follow tech even a little bit, you know AI is literally everywhere right now. But what we're looking at today, it is a fundamental shift. We are moving away from just passively staring at our screens and stepping into this wild new era of proactive, real-world AI agents. So we're going to break down exactly how Google is completely changing the way we interact with the digital world, step by step. Because you really have to ask yourself, what actually happens when the internet stops being a screen and starts living right on your face? It's a crazy thought, right? Today, we're going on a bit of a journey to answer that. We'll start way up at the broadest software layer, Google Search, and then zoom all the way down to the physical hardware we'll probably all be wearing pretty soon. Because honestly, to understand the glasses, you've really got to understand the brain that's powering them.
So let's start with Section 1, the AI Search Makeover. This is essentially the biggest upgrade in nearly 30 years.
When we look at the macro level, it's easy to see this massive shift. Think about it. Google Search is the world's most visited website, and it is being reimagined entirely from the ground up. We are officially leaving behind those classic 10 blue links, where you had to do all the manual research, endlessly clicking through static results. Instead, with this new AI search powered by Gemini 3.5, you're getting visually augmented answers, dynamic dashboards, and get this, custom mini-apps created completely on the fly. Literally, you could ask for a weekend family planner, and boom, it generates a custom interactive itinerary instantly.
Now, as incredible as that sounds for us users, it definitely introduces some major friction. As a journalist over at Tom's Guide recently pointed out, while this new AI mode makes the internet super digestible for you and me, it actually poses a pretty significant threat to publications and businesses that rely heavily on Google's referral traffic to survive. I mean, think about it. If search just gives you the complete answer instantly, you aren't going to click the link, right? It's a major industry shift, and honestly, it's something we'll absolutely be keeping a close eye on.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds into the next phase. Meet your AI agents. We're going from reactive tools to proactive assistants.
So, moving beyond just the web, let's talk about the software powering these totally new experiences. You're going to be hearing the term agentic AI thrown around a lot. But what actually makes an AI agentic? Well, it's essentially having a 24/7 personal assistant that works proactively in the background. Take the new Gemini Spark, for example. This thing lives in the cloud. Let's say you're organizing a party. Spark can track all your RSVPs in Google Sheets, automatically send out follow-up reminders to the people who inevitably haven't responded yet, and update your calendar. And it does this entirely in the background. You literally don't have to click a single button.
To make all this magic happen, Google announced an absolute flurry of new Gemini models. So let's quickly break down this lineup. First, we've got Gemini 3.5 Flash, which is 4 times faster and specifically optimized to handle those complex agent workflows we just talked about. Then, there's Gemini Omni Flash. This is the multimodal powerhouse. It can actually generate and edit video and audio natively, which is wild. And finally, there's Gemini Spark, that 24/7 background agent. You can see how Google is really carefully segmenting all of this into speed, media generation, and background utility.
Let's look at a really concrete use case of these agents in action, specifically with the feature Google is calling the Universal Cart. Okay, imagine you're building a new PC and you're adding parts from a bunch of different apps or retailers. Universal Cart is actually intelligent enough to cross-reference your items across the board. So it will proactively catch if, say, in the motherboard you just added isn't compatible with your processor, and it will instantly suggest alternatives. That is true, proactive, agent-driven shopping that literally stops you from making expensive tech mistakes.
But as you might guess, having your digital life continuously managed like that definitely comes at a premium. Google revealed their new AI Ultra subscription tier to access these absolute top-tier agentic features and, well, it's going to set you back $100 a month. Yeah, $100. It's a pretty hefty price tag for sure, but it's heavily targeted at power users, creators, and developers who basically want to put their digital lives on absolute autopilot.
Now, even with that premium tier on the table, the sheer scale of adoption here is staggering. To put this number into perspective, the Gemini app already boasts 900 million monthly active users globally. 900 million. That is literally double their growth over just the past year. Google is rolling these agent features out to an absolutely massive global audience.
Which brings us to Section 3, Intelligent Eyewear arrives. Subtitle here being, Putting Gemini on Your Face.
Now, what's really interesting is how this fall, Google and Samsung are bringing all that immense cloud power straight into the physical world.
Let's make the magic of this incredibly easy to digest by walking through a real-world scenario from popular science. Imagine this. Step 1. You're walking past your favorite cafe. Step 2. You give a quick, natural voice command to your glasses. Step 3. Your Gemini agent, quietly working in the background, queues up your usual coffee order right on the DoorDash app on your phone. And Step 4. You just pull out your phone and tap the screen to confirm. That's the whole shebang. The glasses act as the eyes and ears, and the phone acts as the wallet. It's that seamless.
So, let's compare the hardware strategies we saw at I/O. On one side, we have the new intelligent eyewear from Google and Samsung. These are sleek, audio-only consumer glasses. There's zero built-in display. They rely entirely on voice and camera input. In stark contrast, Google also teased Xreal's Project Aura. Now, this is a bulkier, wired developer kit, but it features a full OLED built-in display for spatial computing. Google is clearly splitting the market here. They're going audio-only for everyday consumers right now, while reserving the heavy-duty displays for developers who are preparing for the future.
And because those consumer glasses are strictly audio only, the audio itself has to be absolutely phenomenal. Check out this mind-bending feature, tone-matched live translation. Picture this. You're speaking to someone in another language, and Gemini translates their audio in real time right into your ear. But, and this is the crazy part, instead of that flat robotic voice we are also used to, the AI actually matches the original speaker's pitch and tone. It literally maintains the emotion and the nuance of the conversation effortlessly. It's a real game changer.
Moving on to Section 4, Fashion Hiding the Tech, or, as we like to call it, avoiding the glass hole era.
You guys might remember the bulky 2014 Google Glass and, well, the infamous glass hole era that came with it. Google definitely learned a hard lesson there. To ensure mass adoption this time around, these audio-only frames prioritize style above almost everything else. Samsung and Google actually partnered with major eyewear brands like Warby Parker. And regarding that collaboration, Warby Parker's designer said something really interesting. It was important for us not to hide the technology, but to celebrate it. They are actively treating the tech as an aesthetic choice, integrating it into frames that you'd actually want to wear on a daily basis.
And then there's Gentle Monster. They're a brand totally known for their avant-garde designs, and their philosophy leans heavily into high fashion over sheer technical specs. As they put it, it's not only a product, it's all about perception and emotion. I want to give confidence to people. By creating these chunky, rebellious frames, they are essentially taking a high-tech gadget and turning it into a bold fashion statement. It's all about how it makes you feel.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5. Will this future work? The crowded graveyard of AI hardware.
So the crucial point we have to ask here is, will this actually work? Google is launching these wearables into incredibly high stakes. Right now, the market for AI hardware is basically a tightrope. Just look at the gadgets that have recently failed. I mean, the Humane AI Pin already had its server shut down, and the Rabbit R1 launched with notoriously unfinished software. Dedicated, standalone AI gadgets have really struggled. But then, look at the survivors. Meta's Ray-Bans are absolutely thriving. Why? Well, mainly because they act as simple audio and camera assistants that stay tethered to your phone, rather than trying to replace the phone entirely. Google's audio-only approach here is aimed squarely at replicating Meta's exact playbook for success.
But Google has a massive secret weapon that its competitors just don't have: the Android XR platform. This is the underlying operating system that allows a single, unified Gemini agent to seamlessly jump between your Google Cloud, your Android phone, your Galaxy smartwatch, and your new intelligent glasses. It's an entire ecosystem working together in harmony, rather than just one standalone device trying to do it all by itself.
Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought. We are witnessing a massive shift from scrolling endlessly on our screens to letting real-world agents handle the heavy lifting of our daily lives. The technology is here, the hardware is launching this fall, and the AI is working 24/7 in the background. So the real question is, are you ready for AI to manage your digital life while you simply watch the real world go by? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes and your glasses open for what's coming next.